In your Google Classroom eventually will be posted this, which is the breakdown of what's going to be on the test. Okay? You have in front of you the pre-tape. That's exactly the same look as the test, except I changed the numbers around. Think of it almost as a version 2 of the whole thing. Okay? So exactly the same thing. We're going to work on that today. But first I want to go through and make sure that you've got your blue notes all set up, because you're going to turn those in the day of the test. Your guys' test will be Thursday, and the B groups will be Friday. Thursday we'll take some questions on this first, because that's about the next time we're going to meet, so it's going to kind of be a little bit weird. But you can also email me some questions. We're going to have probably 15 to 20 minutes, probably in here, if not more, to work on it, and you can ask me some questions there at the same time. But your first reference for questions, hopefully, would be your blue notes, okay? So the first thing we want to do is make sure we've got 5 topics. Each one of these topics is going to be worth 3 points when you turn it in. So your blue notes are going to be worth 15 points, okay? Each homework assignment is worth 2. So you can see I've made the blue notes pretty important. Remember the 3 things I'm looking for. I want the topic, I want the homework assignment, and then the notes part of it. So I'm looking for those 3 things. Lately, they're getting all posted in classrooms, so you might be able to go back and peek in there. I think the first couple we probably didn't, but it should be over there. If you're not sure, just check with somebody else or email me, and we'll go from there. And I'm just going to go check each one. So the first one we're going to look for is solving quadratic equations. Solving quadratic equations. Okay. For the test, there's going to be 2 questions of those. You're going to need to know the quadratic formula. You're going to do some factoring, but there isn't going to be any completing of the square. Most of the problems are 2 points apiece. 2, 1, or none. Okay, and I do give partial credit depending upon what we've got. And there's going to be a total of about 9 questions or 20 points. And these are test points, so this is 80% of your grade. The second thing we did was graph a line. So the next topic should be graph a line. And you can use either the chart or the slope-intercept, whichever you want. You just got to show me what's going on. You have to show me your work when you're doing the quadratic formula. Show me your work on your factoring, and so on off of that. So I'm a big guy and showing me your work. Oh, I do need to give you a sheet. I know that. Maybe not. I'm going to have to double check that. I'll give you one. You guys probably got extra anyway, don't you? Graphing an inequality. You have to graph an inequality and then shoot it onto Desmos and screenshot it to me just like we did that other thing. Okay? So you're going to have to graph that inequality and then shoot it to me using the Desmos. Okay? So you should get that one right because you already got the Desmos at the thing. This is usually the last thing you're going to mess with. So that's your third topic. I probably skipped on, that's probably a different order, but it's there, right? I think it probably went from graphing a line to solving equations, didn't we? On your list it probably goes as solving equations. I don't know why I put that over there. But the solving equations, there's a substitution and there's an elimination. You'll have 2 methods. Okay. 2 methods. Have to do, I think in this case, is it on here that I said? Yep, you have to use substitution. And then the second one you can solve however you want, but you're going to have to do at least 1 substitution solving for what we need. Graphing inequalities, and the last thing we did was the parabola. You're going to have to do 1 chart and 1 the y-intercept, axis of symmetry, and vertex.
Do we have to know the equation for the negative b over 2?
Yes, you're going to need to know the opposite of b over 2a. Yeah, I guess that's the 2 things. It's part of the quadratic formula anyway, so we're in there. So you need to know the quadratic formula and then the opposite of b over 2a. And you won't use you turn your blue notes in right at the beginning of the hour, so you're not going to use the blue notes on the test. That's something. other questions you got for me? All right. Why don't I just shut up? Let you work on that, as we'll see how far you get, and if you got any questions on it. In general, the same thing's going to happen when you get it done. And shoot it out there. I will eventually put the answers to it on a classroom assignment as well. That makes sense? So you'll at least have your answers out there on the completion. It's not about you getting this all right or all wrong. It's you understanding, hey, what do I need to look at, and so on off of that. So if you're struggling with something, look at your blue notes, look at the homework assignments, and then come ask me if you got it, or email me if you're around and we don't get enough done today. So, Burkhoff will shut up.